Welcome to For the Love of MSTR, where I talk about how my MSTR stock is doing each week. I'm Mr. Moneybags, and I'm going to state our financial disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. Please trade at your own risk, and you can read our full financial disclaimer in the description of this video. And today I'm going to talk about how my MSTR stock did the week of February 3rd. And I'm also going to give you some Bitcoin news and some MicroStrategy news. And you can use our chapters if you want to skip, to any parts. But we do appreciate anybody who watches all the way to the end. So let's get started. All right, the previous week, Trump said that he's going to pass tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. And investors were nervous about that. And on Sunday, Bitcoin had dipped down to 93,000. I just kept getting alerts on my phone. Bitcoin down, Solana down, XRP down, a whole bunch of crypto stocks just down. But on Monday, Trump was running around talking to the Mexican president, talking to the Canadian prime minister, and they came to some agreement about how they're going to handle the border with immigration, and the flow of drugs going across the border. And they came to an agreement, and Trump decided to pause tariffs for 30 days. So when we get to March, it's going to be some more drama. We'll see what happens. But the stock market news on Monday, the S&P fell 0.8%, the Dow Jones Industrial fell 0.3%, and the Nasdaq lost 1.2%. So stock market finished down on Monday, but MicroStrategy finished off at $347.09. Bitcoin did rise from 93,000 to $101,335, and I was plus $94.20 on my MSTR stock. My total value is $2,658. My July purchase of 2024, I'm plus 94.5%, or plus $1,241. And my November purchase of 2024, I am minus 24%. On Tuesday, Trump said, I'm going to pass an extra 10% tariff on China. And China retaliated back with their own tariffs, but most financial analysts believe that they're using this as a negotiating tool. China's tariffs is stuff that in USA we really don't use that much. So hopefully they can get together and talk it out. We'll see what happens. Trump wants to stop the flow of fentanyl from China to America. We'll see what happens. But Bitcoin dipped down to $98,681. MicroStrategy finished off at $348. This is around the time the market closed. I was plus $9.34, so not much happened on Tuesday. All right, Wednesday, February 5th, Bitcoin finished off at $97,411. And this MicroStrategy also announced earnings on Wednesday. I want to try to have it live for y'all, but I had some technical difficulties. But MicroStrategy, they always miss on earnings. There's nothing new. They did announce in earnings that this will be their last time missing, and I think they believe that because they're going to have the new FASB accounting rule where Bitcoin will count towards their earnings. So we'll see how the next earnings, the next 3 months or so, how that will affect their profit and revenues and their outlook. But on February 5th, I was minus $88, almost $89. On February 6th, minus $86. So back-to-back red days. All right, February 7th was Friday, plus $16.08. So not a big week this week. My total value, $2,508. So I actually went down. It was a down week. My July purchase, I'm plus 83%. My November purchase of last year, minus 28.5%. Bitcoin finished off at $95,927. So Bitcoin actually finished down for the week too. Unless you want to count Sunday, then it was, plus almost 2,000. But if you want to count from Monday, it went from 101,000 to Friday to, almost 96,000. And MicroStrategy finished off at $327.56. And Trump did announce that he was going to pass some more tariffs possibly this coming week. So Monday, Tuesday ish, we're going to be hearing all these financial analysts. They're going to be critiquing Trump's tariffs, extra tariffs. We'll see what happens if he goes talk to the Chinese president, because this is making the stock market bad, or potentially could. They're going to be talking about inflation and how this would impact the economy with these tariffs. So I could see next week being a volatile week.